all of a sudden you get a picture from Pinterest about like, you know, these minimalist pictures where like a white bed sheet with like coffee on top of the bed, and you post it. I'm like, bitch, you don't even drink coffee. Hi my loves, how you guys doing? Welcome to this face. If this is your first time, do not make it your last. We're all about fashion, lifestyle, and a bunch of general nonsense. Please subscribe, join the family. We're still growing. I appreciate those of you that have been here since day one. Welcome to the new guys, and please don't forget to share, comment, all that jazz. Guys, I know today I'm giving rich housewife, I'm doing nothing, I'm just at home, you know, I'm giving, I don't know, old school, I'm giving feathers, I'm giving my hairdo, I'm giving, guys, I'm looking good. But before we get started, just in case you guys want to know the details of what I have on, my hair is Aya hair, done at the Beauty Cave. It's just like their French curls or French braids. And I have these earrings from Amazon. This is like the Bottega dupe. These are the kind of things I can get the dupe of, because the original Bottega earrings, almost $1,000 for what? For what? It doesn't make sense. For something that's not gold. So this is the Amazon dupe, and it looks exactly the same. I'll put a link below in case you want to get it. These were like $25 and they're fantastic. They have the gold and they have the silver. I just got the gold, but if you're a silver girly, you can get that as well. My blouse is this set, the two-piece set. This is from Banke Kuku, and it has the feathers, and this is what your girl is looking like today. Okay, just in case you wanted to know, let's get that out of the way. Guys, I wanted to do my makeup and talk to you guys today because I know you guys love my sit down videos, and I wanted to do something different. I don't think I've done something like this before on my channel, but it is heavily requested, especially on my IG as well. So if you want to know how to edit your pictures, curate your feed, edit your reels, all of that, anything that has to do with Instagram, please continue watching. Do not skip this video, continue watching, and I'll try as much as possible to be in depth with every single step and let you guys know how I curate my page. My page might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I know a lot of people like the way my page looks and the way I do my reels and the way I post my pictures and the way I just curate my content generally on Instagram. So if you want to know how I get that done, do not skip, do not fast forward, just stay tuned. My Instagram page has always been a place where I feel like I could express my creativity. Like, some people don't take their Instagram too seriously, and I understand that, but for someone like me, it feels like almost like a catalog for me, or people call it a CV these days, or that's the fastest way to get to know someone. I think like the world is getting smaller and smaller, so we have so many forms of social media and apps and all of that to connect one another, but I feel like Instagram has managed to be that particular social media app that you could create it to be what you want it to be like it's almost like a CV, like I said, or your catalog or your portfolio, so you can make it what you want it to be, so that when people come to your page, they would see at least enough to know the kind of person you are, or the kind of lifestyle you live, or the kind of job that you do, or just know more about you, right? So I love Instagram because it just lets you show your creativity. I have my phone here because I'm going to do a lot of explanations, and I'll divide the screen, I'll put it in front of the screen, I don't know, but there'll be something here showing you guys whatever I'm doing if I want to show you guys like a tutorial on how I edit my videos and things like that. But yeah, so that's why I have my phone here. But I think I want to divide these tips into steps so it's easy to just comprehend, so it's not like I'm just blabbing up and down. So let me just divide it into like categories. So the first step I'm going to talk about is, what exactly do you want your Instagram page to look like? I think that is like the most important thing, because when you figure that out, every other thing follows. So what do you want your page to look like? Do you want your page to look black and white? Do you want it to have that like dim light feel? Do you want it to be very colorful? Do you want it to be like more quotes? You know, there's some people that do like quotes, then they'll put a picture. Do you want it to be very minimalist, like just, you know, the nudes, the whites, the beige? Do you want it to be color coordinated? Some people do like, maybe they'll do like 3 rows of green, then they move to red, then they move to white, then they move to black. That is the most stressful feed ever. Like, I don't even know how people do that. It's just deciding what you want your page to look like. So everything I'm going to be talking about will be in relation to my page, to my Instagram page. I'm not saying that my way is the way forward. I'm not saying my way is the best. It's about what suits you. So if I'm giving examples based on my page, That's all the example I can give, because it is my page and it's what I do. So when you choose what you want your page to look like, for me, I wanted my page, or I want my page to be colorful. I want my page to be pleasing to the eye. I want when people come to my page, they don't feel like they just get bored, like they'll want to scroll down more. Like, so one thing I usually try to do, sometimes it can be difficult, but one thing I usually try to do is that I don't fill up my page with just pictures of myself. I like breaking it up with something. So either like an object, or a landmark, or a view of something, or accessories, luxury. So when you come to my page, you could tell that this person is into fashion, this person is into luxury, this person is into travel, just with the first scroll. You don't have to go down too much, just the first, you understand, you just know what this person is into. So I think it's very important, so that way people will decide whether they want to continue going down, because they've seen what your page is about. You don't have to wait for them to scroll down before they decide what this page is all about. I like pages where when you just open it, you just know that, okay, I've come to the right place. Do you understand? So I feel like my page has that thing where if you're into what I'm into, once you open the page, you'll just be sucked into it. You'd want to either follow, or you'd want to scroll more, or you want to see more of my content. Do you understand? Because of the way I curated my page. Once you figure that out, which is like the difficult part, and you've decided this is what you want your page to look like, I feel like it's very important to stick to it, because there's nothing worse than when it doesn't feel like the person. Okay, what I mean by this is like, if for me when I'm curating my content, I try, even if I'm putting those things to break my page, I put things that are still related to what I do. Like I gave the example, I'm putting like a picture of my bag, my luxury bag, or like a vacation I went to, like just getting like a view or landscape. But when I mean, if you don't make it relatable to you or relating to what you do in your lifestyle, so for example, you're someone that you don't curate your posts, you don't edit your pictures, nothing, you just take random pictures that are just not nice, and all of a sudden you go on Pinterest. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going on Pinterest, but I'm saying you go on Pinterest and you get a picture that is so obvious that it has nothing to do with you. So now you're someone that puts pictures of just random things, you don't care about your page, and all of a sudden you get a picture from Pinterest about, like, you know, these minimalist pictures where like a white bed sheet with like coffee on top of the bed, and you post it. I'm like, bitch, you don't even drink coffee. What is wrong with you? So what I always advise people is that take as much pictures of random things as possible. That this is one thing that has saved me a lot. Like if you're really into posting on your page or making your page look a certain way, there are so many things that look nice to see. Like when you're just passing, you just see a nice, you know, just a nice curated space, or a nice view, or a nice something. Just take pictures random. Like my phone is filled with random pictures, just random pictures of nonsense. But guess what, it might be nonsense now, but later in the future, when I'm trying to get like a break before I post another picture, another reel showing my face, I'll think of, yes, I have random pictures that actually are related to the things I do. Do you understand? So like that's a good advice if you want to figure out like that particular strategy of arranging your page. Step 2, I'm going to put into 3 steps. So step 1 is what you want your page to look like, right? Step 2 is creating the actual content, which is, I'm sure that's why you guys are here, creating the actual content. So if you want your page to be colorful, luxurious, all of that is going to determine how you create your content. That is how you take your pictures. So for someone like me with my page, I want my page to be colorful. I want my page to be like almost like a magazine, like, right? So when I'm taking my pictures, I am very, 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 very conscious of the settings on my phone. So now I'll put like a split screen so you guys will see the settings on my phone. I use an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I used an iPhone 13 Pro Max as well. So I think this setting is kind of relating to 13 and 14, and I think 12 as well. I'm not sure about 12, but I know the last one I used before this was 13, and it was the exact same setting that I had. So I'll put a split screen and you guys will see my camera settings. This is the settings I use for everything. So you can just screenshot it, or you can pause so you can put your settings to that if it's not already like to that. So basically, this is my home page here. This is my home page. So you go to settings and then you scroll down. Just keep on scrolling down to camera. You see where they wrote camera here. You click on the camera. So this is the settings that are very important, and then you have to just make sure it's on point before you start filming or recording or shooting content. So the first one here is formats. Open the format. If it's almost compatible, remove it from that. Make sure it's in high efficiency. Mine is on high efficiency. So that means whatever it is you're creating, it's not about what is more compatible with like the network or whatever, is always high efficiency, so you always get the clearest and crispiest content. So put it on high efficiency, and then you scroll down. My Apple Pro RAW is on. My Pro RAW resolution is on 48 MP, so that's the highest as well. And my Apple Pro Res, whatever that is, see, I'm not a tech girly, so just follow me, is on as well. So screenshot this, and then we go back to our settings. Next thing you see is recording of your video. So record video, you open it, you can see that I shoot my videos on 4K at 60 frames. Do you understand? So the last setting, why I do this is that when I'm editing, which I'll also show you guys later, when I'm editing my reels on InShot app or whatever app I'm using, I usually export it at 1080. Do you understand? But when I'm filming the content itself, I shoot at 4K, because I heard Instagram doesn't carry 4K, so it's good to export at 1080. So I started doing that. But when you're filming, make sure you film on 4K and at 60 frames per second. So yeah, that is my settings. The same thing when you go down, my show PAL formats on, enhanced stabilization is on as well. So those are the ones that are on for this one. Go back to your camera, the same thing with record slow-mo is on the highest as well, 1080p HD at 240 frames per second. And that's that. And then for record cinematic as well, I didn't put this at 4K because I really have not started using cinematic on this phone, but I want to believe maybe if you put it at 4K 30 frames, that would be good as well. But I never looked at this because I've not really filmed cinematic on this phone. But yeah, so that is it. Then when you're done with all of this, it's very important to go to preserve settings, because most people don't do that. So you have to preserve your settings so it doesn't go back automatically, because you can set it and you leave it without preserving, and you realize that when you're about to shoot your content, it just goes back to the automatic settings that comes with the phone. So go to preserve settings, camera mode on, creative control on, exposure adjustment on. My night mode is not on because I usually don't film night mode like that, but if you do, night mode on. So basically this just preserves the settings that you already created, so it doesn't go back to the automatic settings that comes with the phone. I feel like I need to drink water. That comes to the phone. So this is what I mean by making sure that your phone settings are on point before you start filming. Like I said, I'm using an iPhone. I don't know how it is with Androids, but with this one, iOS, this is what I use and this is what my settings are like. So that's it for that. Next thing I'll talk about is your background. So now you know you have good settings with your phone. Another thing is your background. Like, you just want to use a nice background. Like, you don't want to just use anyhow background. I know people say things like, that my house doesn't look fine doesn't mean I should not create my content in my house. Like, you know, people book a hotel and everything. This social media streets is the ghetto, to be honest. This social media streets is almost like a thing of fake it till you make it. So it's about what you want. Nobody is saying you should live a lie or whatever. It's about what you want your page to look like. So if you feel like your house is not that nice, or the environment around your house is not nice, and that's not what you want to post on your page, it's fine. When you go to a nice restaurant, you take pictures there and you post it. When you go to a nice hotel, when you travel, you take pictures, whatever it is. I really don't blame the girlies that will go and they'll pack clothes and they'll take 6, 7 contents, so they'll use it for a long number of time. I really don't blame them because it's what they want. So I really tend not to judge people because of that. It is what you want your page to look like. Like, nobody should be judged for that. So I'm very into nice backgrounds. Like, when I go somewhere nice, you know, you get the background, make sure it looks nice, and lighting is very important. Your house might be very nice, but most of us didn't move into our house or decorate our house as a content creator in our mind. Do you understand? So maybe you didn't do good lighting, or there's no good lighting in your house. When you go out to restaurants and all those fancy places, they're nice, they have like nice lighting, nice background, nice all of that, and it's important for your content. So it is very important to think about that as well, to like location. Like, where do I take nice pictures? When will it look good? Like, what time of the day? Is it afternoon when the sun is out? Is it like golden hour when the sun is about to set? All of that is very important, and you get your nice shots. You should always have that in mind. So me, I'm very particular about it. I'm very particular about the kind of pictures that I post on my feed versus the kind of pictures I post on my story, because I want my feed to have a certain look. Call it whatever you want to call it, but it is what it is. Next thing again is your pose. Pose is very important, right? Pose is very important. Like I said, I like my page looking like, I'll put my Instagram. Let me, I think I should not be talking too much. Let me actually go on my Instagram as well and show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'll put my handle as well, because this video is about Instagram, so please follow your girl for more juicy, lovely content if you want to. So yeah, let's go on Instagram here. So let's open Instagram. So this is my page right about now. So I'm one of those people that use like the black settings. In case you're wondering why my phone is black, I feel like the white is just too bright for me, so the black display settings on my iPhone. Anyway, so now if you go on my page and you scroll down, before you even start scrolling down, you see like my what do you call it, my highlights. So I just made that all about my travel, because I travel a lot, so I feel like it's easier for people to catch up, because when I travel I share a lot of information about maybe where I stayed, things I did, restaurants I visited. So I feel like that is an easy way for people to just go there if they want to, you know, get details on something. So I just create them into like highlights, into cities. So just open it, you check whatever you need, the hotel details, the outfits I wore, the things I did, they're all there. So I like putting them in my highlights. So when you open that, you already know that this person travels. I can get information from her travel trips and all of that. So that is what you have first. Then when you start scrolling down, you see my posts, you see luxury bags, you see that I travel, you see up close pictures, you see some pictures that are far, some pictures that are close up, you see hair, you see all of that as you go down. And because of that, you're intrigued, you want to keep on scrolling, because it's like I'm all up in your face with like colorful things. Like, it's not boring. Do you understand? You'll be like, I want to know more. Oh, what's she wearing? You know, all of that. So when it comes to my poses as well, I am intentional about the way I pose, because I want details to show. Like if I do a new hair, for example, let me show you guys like this hair now. I was intentional about this particular picture here because I was trying to showcase the hair. Like, do you understand? That was the whole point of this picture. I want people to show it to their hairstylist and be like, this is the hair I want to make. So I wouldn't do it such a way that you're not seeing the hair. Like, I'm giving you guys pictures to save, and this works for me because if you check my insights, you see there are a lot of saves. So even if I don't get likes that much, but people are saving it, and that is what I'm trying to achieve. So my engagement works well that way. So if I'm doing like a hair picture like that, like I said, I'll make it detailed. But at the same time, it's good to put like nice pictures that are not really up close. So for example, a picture like, let me show you a good example. So a picture like this picture now, for example, there's really nothing I'm showing, it's just vibes. I see this picture just like a vibing picture, just something selfie. So sometimes my posts are not even always that serious. This picture, I'm just here with my phone. I took a selfie in front of the mirror and I edited it to give it this vintage, grainy kind of feel that is brown, because that was the vibe I was going for. Do you understand? So it's not everything that is always up in your face. This was the vibe I wanted. So I actually sit down and think of my posts, right, and think of what I'm trying to achieve, so that way it helps me when I pose. Do you understand? So believe it or not, before I took this picture that looks very effortless, I thought about it like I want an effortless picture based on my outfit, based on what I'm wearing. I don't want something too much. I was wearing an oversized shirt, I was wearing a cargo pant. I was like, you know, I just want something very chilled, and I took the selfie. And when I was editing it, because I already had that in my mind, I had the idea of what I wanted it to look like, so everything just worked well. Do you understand? So it's about knowing what you're trying to achieve with your content, so that way to determine how you're going to pose, where you're going to stay, what you're even going to wear, all of that, they come in place. See, we do all of this to put out effortless content. That's the thing. Because when I hear people tell me things like, you make it look so easy, it's so easy, like I'm like, it's easy because I enjoy doing it. Let's not get this like twisted. It's easy because I enjoy doing it, but technically it's really not easy. Like, it involves a lot of mental stress, because other people see it as, oh, just dress up and take picture. Me, I see it as, okay, no, I'll now wear this. Okay, so I'll now do this. Okay, this is the kind of thing I want to do. This is what I want to wear. This is how I want it to look like. Okay, we'll be in this bag. Like a mad person. Next tip I can give when it comes to create, don't worry, we're going to get into the apps. I know we're getting into the apps, but the next tip I can give when it comes to creating content, especially when you stay by yourself or you travel by yourself or you don't have someone to take pictures for you. I'm lucky enough to have my husband. My husband knows, like, he knows my angles, to be honest, but it's not every time I'm always with him. It's not every time I travel with him. So the tripod, you need to invest in the tripod if you really want to get content. I'll show you guys some pictures that I have that I use my tripod to create. Tripods is your best friend. Get a tripod and just don't be scared of looking stupid. To me, it's harder for me to create content with tripod in Nigeria because I feel like we're very judgmental. When I travel, no one cares. And even if they care, I'm like, you won't see me tomorrow. I don't live here. I will be stupid in public. I'll put my tripod, I'll take my pictures, create my content, and off I go. You will not see me again. Do you understand? Don't be scared, don't be shy. Put your tripod, look stupid, just be doing different poses and be laughing. Be laughing, oh my god, you be doing sexy, all those things. To me, I feel like it's even easier because I'm all by myself, right? So I don't feel like someone is creating the content and I feel weird and I'm stressing the person like, oh, I don't like this picture. With your tripod, you can do it over and over and over again because you're the one in control of it. That is number one. The second thing again is that it's one thing not to have someone to help you create the content, and it's another thing to have someone that can help you create the content, but the person is creating nonsense. We have that as well too. There's some people you give the phone to, they just don't know because they're not thinking the way you're thinking. In fact, to them, the pictures are taken, it makes sense. Like, it's so nice. They'll be wondering, why are you even complaining? It's nice, it's nice. And you'll be arguing, you're like, it's not about it being nice, you're just not getting the way I want it to be. Do you understand? The advice I can give you guys is just give them the phone and tell them to press record on a video. Don't take pictures. Just almost like they're acting like a tripod, kind of. But now if you want the movement, or even if they stand still but you're doing all the movements, so that way, I do that a lot. I do that a lot. So what I do is that if I feel like I'm not on my tripod or I don't want to use my tripod, I would record a video. Like, I'll press record and give it to someone. It can be my nanny, it can be anybody. Do you understand? Give them and just tell them to record. You just hold it straight, and then I'll just go stupid. Like, I'll be like oh my god. I'll turn around, I'll walk, I'll do all of that, and the person wondering, like, is this person mad? But guess what? There are so many pictures I've gotten out of videos. I'll show you guys one now that you people might not believe, or maybe you might believe, I don't know. But that is a hack that most people don't use. Just tell them to record. You put the settings, it's fine, it's bright, all of that, and just go crazy. Start walking around, spin around, come close to the video, go back, laugh, do like you're pushing the phone away, all of that. I promise you, you're going to get more pictures from that video than when you give them to take pictures of you. I promise you. Let me show you guys one. So this is one here. So let's go to my album. So this is the video. So this was me telling her, you know, just hold it, I'll just walk. So this is me walking. I walked to the Eiffel Tower, I turned around. So she was like a tripod for me. And then I walked back to her, and then that was it, right? So these are the pictures I got from, or this is the picture I got from the video that I posted on Instagram. This is the picture here. So if you want to know how I did this picture is already edited and everything, because if you notice from the video is a bit dim, dull, all of that, but this is like the edited version, which I'll show you guys when I start showing you the editing section of this video. But so this picture, it came about from this video. So what I do is that when the video starts playing, I go to pause down here, like you pause it. No, I move, sorry, just not to confuse you guys. So this is the video here. Let's open the video. So you see down here where the line is moving, I move it a bit and then I press pause. When I do this, it's easy for me to now navigate. Do you understand? Like, I can move to any part of the video that I want to capture. So this was the part of the video that I liked in the beginning when I did like this. And now I have a picture. If you guys are seeing what I'm saying. So you just go, you know how to screenshot the power button and your volume increase together. And now I have a screenshot of the video. So this is now what I have to work with. So what I now do is that, let me just add it to this album so it's easy. So what I now do is that this is the picture I just screenshot. So I just go to my edit up here, and then I go to crop. So I just crop this extra black thing here, and yeah, I have my picture. So guys, onto the part you guys have been looking forward to, which is the third category of all of this, which is editing your content. Editing your content is like the maker or breaker of any content that you create. And the funny thing is that I actually do not even do much when it comes to editing, because I don't like looking fake. You know, when someone just over edits their pictures, they don't look like they're not even themselves, they look like a doll, they just look very funny. I don't like doing too much. So I'll share some of the apps that I use. The first app that I use is called the Preview app. So this Preview app, I think I would have even discussed it with the first point when I was talking about curating your page. This Preview app helps you see what your page is going to look like. There's so many apps like that, but this is the one I use. It's called the Preview app. So these are all the apps I'm going to be talking to you guys about. So the first one here is the Preview app, like I told you guys, and as you can see my pictures here already. Is linked to my Instagram page. So what this app does for me is, if I have future posts, or I have 2 or 3 posts and I'm trying to figure out how I want to place it or how it's going to look like on my page, that is what this app does. Just, you can get the picture and you can add it here to see how your page is going to look like. So this is what my Instagram looks like now, but I can always add something if I feel like, okay, do I put like a breaker or should I put like a picture of myself, just to see what your page is going to look like before you eventually post it on your Instagram. So I recommend the preview app, and you can link it to more than one account, I think. The second app that I use is called Facetune. This is the first app I use. So when I take a picture, the first app I use is Facetune, because what Facetune does is just it smoothens out everything that you need to smoothen out. So if you have like small bumps, or you have like pimple, or you have a stain on your clothes, or you have your eyes are like brownish, your eyes are dirty, because all of us in Nigeria, all our eyes are dirty, you know, and you want to just make your eyes a bit brighter, or you need to show more details on your hair. Like I said when I posted that picture, guys, I'm so sorry if it feels like the thing shifted or moved. I was just filming and my camera just went off. So I don't even know if it's the memory. I don't know if, not the battery, because I still have battery, but it just went off. So if it feels like things shifted, I'm sorry about that, but I think I need to rush it now just in case, so we don't have stories that touch. So yeah, I was talking about editing. Let's just edit one picture so I don't have to do much. So like I said, you go to your picture. I would have just made this easy. Okay guys, so you don't understand what's happening to me now. So basically you choose the picture you want to use. So this is the picture I'm using. Like I said, it's unedited. This is what it looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is retouch. So you go on the retouch app, go to smooth it, and I usually try to zoom in. So when I zoom in, you can see all the imperfections, you can see all the bumps and everything. So just to let you know that Instagram is fake. I don't look that perfect. My skin doesn't look that good. Do you understand? So I go to smooth and I just smoothen it out. I try as much as possible not to do too much so I don't look like a doll or an evil spirit from Mami Water, because really nobody's that perfect, to be honest. So I still like texture on my skin as well. I still like texture, but at the same time just remove the extra bumps and just funny things. You might not notice it now, but when I zoom out you kind of see the difference. So this is me zooming out. I don't like doing so much, but now I zoomed out, you could see how my skin is really glowing and looking nice, and it helps enhance the makeup that you already did. Next thing I do is go to whiten here. So this is just to whiten your eyeballs. This particular eyeball doesn't really need that much. I'll just touch it a bit, and here you can see increase or reduce how white you want it to be. I try not to put it to the highest. So just touch that eyeball, but on this particular eyeball I have a birthmark, so you can see it here. So just to cover my birthmark a bit, I just tap slightly on that so it doesn't look that bad, and that's it. And that's it for my eye. So this is what I do with Facetune app, to be honest. Then if I want details on my hair, like I told you guys, I just swipe and I go to details here, and you just focus on the things you want details on. So if you want more of details on your hair, just tap the area where you want the details. You can want details on your brows, you can want details on your lashes. This is what it looks like if you want details on your brows. Not so much, just so it doesn't feel like your brows are kind of washed away. So you can do that on your brows, not so much. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And when I'm done, I just go to good and I go to save, and it automatically saves on your phone. So this is the first thing I do, and this is the app. Sometimes I use just this app and that's it. I just go on the iPhone settings, which is like something people don't tell you about or people don't use. The iPhone settings app is like where you need to be. So for example, now I'm done with the Facetune app. This is the last picture I just edited here, right? I go to the phone app like this and I go up here to edit, and I just use the exposure, lightly expose it, get away. I lightly expose it. I go to brilliance. I use brilliance a lot, so that just makes it a bit bright. And then I go to contrast. I don't use contrast that much, but if I'm going to use contrast, I'll just reduce it a bit. Go to brightness. Sometimes I reduce brightness actually to make it look very what they call it, to make it look more like, I feel like if you increase brightness, increase brilliance, everything is just light exposure. Do you understand? But you want it to still feel like there's life into it. Which another thing you need to do is your saturation and your vibrance. Saturation I don't do too much, so it doesn't look too yellowy or too, you know, saturated. But when I go to vibrance, I go a bit further. So are you guys seeing the difference now? And then I definitely use sharpness as well, where it increases, so everything is very sharp, because when you post a picture on Instagram, it has a way of reducing the sharpness, so it's very important to use sharpness here. And I just do done, and just taking the picture to a whole new level, so I can post the picture like this. So sometimes I just use my Facetune app and then I use my phone app and I'm good to go. But if I feel like I'm not wearing too much makeup that day and I want to make myself look like I did more makeup and all of that, that's when I use Beauty Plus. So Beauty Plus is more for my makeup girlies if you want to do makeup. So that is the app. You open it and you go to add, you just go to photo editing. So I wanted to use that same picture, but honestly, if feel like I've already done enough with this picture, but basically let me just use it and show. Internal temp high. Why is he crying? Take him inside the room now. Ah, Jesus. Anyways, so like I said, if I start telling you guys the behind the scenes of this video, you don't even want to know. I literally just charged my camera now and we're back again. This is take 3. Where did I stop? I was talking about the Beauty Plus app. We must finish filming all of this today. Must. So the Beauty Plus app, let me just screen record so you guys will see what I mean by the Beauty Plus app. So this helps you if you want to add like makeup on your skin, you want to add lashes, all of that. I don't use this app that much, to be quite honest with you guys. I really don't, unless I look really, really bad and I want like to look to look like I put a little bit of makeup, then I'll use the app, but I really don't use it. But let's just show you what it looks like. So let's go back to my apps. So this is called the Beauty Plus app. I think this app you have to pay for it. I think I'm paying for this app monthly. So I'll just use the same picture. I already have the picture here. So as always, just go import the picture up here. So you just import the picture you want. But let me just use the same picture. So I'll show you guys what I'll typically do if I'm using the app. So here you can see makeup down here. And you can choose your blush, you can choose your contour, your brows. Guys, every single thing. You can do a full beat with this app. But these are the kind of things I try to avoid, because when you do it, you just look like not yourself. You look fake. You understand? So I don't do the whole like adding lipstick, adding all these things. But if you want to, you can do it. You can change your brows, you can change your lashes. What I actually use the most here is lashes. So even with this picture, you could see that I have my lashes on. But if you just want that thick, you want that exaggerated like dull look kind of with your lashes, you can still go ahead and choose the lashes here. And I don't know if you guys can even tell the difference. Let me go back to X like nothing, and let me go back to putting the lashes so you guys will see if you can tell the difference. None and lashes, you can't even tell the difference. So these are the kind of things I like adding to my pictures. I don't like it making it so obvious, like just little details here and there. So this just, you can increase it and it just give you this fuller look, but it doesn't feel fake. So yeah, you can do this, and I'll just go to good, and then you can go. Another thing I use with this app, if you keep on moving, is the reshape and part of it. So with this reshape, this picture, I don't need to use the reshape feature for this particular picture. But there's some pictures we all have it. Maybe your double chin is showing, or you feel like your face is just too wide and this is not how your face is, or you don't like the angle. This, you can help reshape your face, so you can help it look a bit slim. Like I said, you guys will not notice this because there's nothing worse than people seeing you a certain way on your social media and in real life you look different. So I don't use that in all my pictures. There's just some pictures that you know you really like, but your face just looks a bit funny and you want to just snatch it a bit. So I wouldn't go now. For example, this is the face, right? And I decide to go to the width of my face, and then I'll now do something like this. Like, I look weird. This is not how my face is meant to be, like compared to this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Like, I can't now reduce it up to this. When you see me in real life, you'll be like, what is going on? Do you understand? And obviously I can't go and increase it looking this big. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm showing you. So technically I'll just leave it at 0. But there's some pictures where I feel like, or even if I want to use it on this picture, I might just do maybe like 10 or something. So it's not even that obvious. So you can do that with your face, you can do that with your eyes. You feel like your eyes are too small and you want to widen it up. Maybe in the picture you were smiling and you feel like your eyes were closed too much and you want to kind of widen it up. You feel like your nose was too broad. Maybe your contour did not contour it while you were doing your makeup and you want to contour it, so you can reduce your nose as well, lips as well, if you want your lips to be more perky or if you want it to be smaller. So, but I feel like with things like this, you just have to be careful so you don't look completely different from yourself. So I tend to shy away from this part of the app. I don't use it that much. I use it mostly for my face when I feel like my double chin is showing in some pictures, or I don't like the look of, you know, the shape of my face. But I don't use it every time, and I don't use it too much. Another thing I use here, but I actually stopped using it, was the 3D highlighting. So this helps with the, are you seeing what it just did to my picture? Now I went there. It makes it look very yellow. So I rather use the iPhone app to increase exposure, brilliance, brightness than use this. But I think this works more for if you're light skinned or if you're white. Like, it helps. But if you have like melanin, like if you're dark skinned, it makes you look funny. This is not how I want to look. I don't look this yellow. And if you go to the next one as well, you see how it's making me look yellow. But I feel like if you're light skin and you use this to work well, so I don't use this anymore because I don't like the look of it. So I just use my iPhone app. So I rather this look because this is closer to my skin tone. Do you understand? So it's about what works for you and what works for your skin tone and what kind of content you want to put out there. I don't want to look fake, so I try as much as possible to avoid that. So that is basically that for Beauty Plus. Let's go to the next app for picture editing, which is the Lenser. This app, I use it, the picture is already there. I use this app mostly for when, sorry, let me import it again. I feel like this is the one I already edited. So let's put back this picture there. So this is the Lenser app. I use this more if I want the grain. Like I showed you guys the picture, I showed you the picture where I was wearing like a brown shirt, oversized shirt, and it has that green vintage look, like casual chilled back. Sometimes you don't want a picture to look so perfect, like look too edited, too, you know, blurred out, too like there's no single thing on it. Sometimes I want that grain. Like I actually want to add grain to my picture. Adding grain here means making it look more grainy. I don't know how to explain. Let me just show you guys. This is what it looks like. I think this is a paid app as well, so I already have the picture here. So let me just go ahead and select it. I've not edited it yet. I just imported it from my picture, my camera roll. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, I use this for grain, I use this for filter, I use this for vibrance as well, depending on the picture. Everything is depending on the picture and my mood, right? So for this particular picture now, I have, I'm so sorry guys for hearing something from outside. My window is open and I think they're walking outside. Super annoying. Like today is like the worst day to film, but it's okay. So here with these 4 options here, morning, day, look, go out, and glam, I usually choose the morning. Morning just gives it this nice softness, right? So I choose the morning app. If you do the day look, it just keeps on getting fake the more you choose it. Are you seeing that it gets, I don't know, it gets dull, like it gets like more like a cartoon character. So I don't do all of that. I just go to the morning one and I just look effortless, like it's not that serious. But what I use most in this particular app is that I go down here and I go to details. If you scroll down, you see grain. So you have different options of grain. So here you can't really tell for this one, but this is the one I use the most. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it gives it this almost like film kind of vibe with your picture, so it doesn't look too perfect. Like sometimes I want a picture to look too perfect. I want to look like you didn't try that much. So with this one, I'm done editing and making sure my face looks good though. I'm now gonna add the grain, and if you just tap on that again, you can increase the intensity of the grain, or you can increase it to the end or reduce it. So that's that. And I think other apps offer this, but this is the app I tend to go to for my grain. Another thing I like about this app is that if you scroll back up, right, you see up here where they wrote all subject or backdrop. So most of their apps and most of their options, you can decide to just edit the subject, which is just the picture, or you can decide to edit just the background. So that way you don't feel like you're editing everything at the same time. You can just choose subject, right, for example, and you can go to sharpen, and it's just the subject that is going to sharpen. And you can choose just backdrop, and you can go to fade, and it's just the background that's going to fade, not the object. So I like that about this app. Not other apps. Other apps don't really offer this. You feel like when you're editing, it's like everything you're editing, but sometimes you just want the subject as you to be focused while the back is kind of blurred out. So instead of, with Facetune does that, but you have to be touching it and be blurring out the back, like that is too long. But this one you can just click on the subject and you just focus on editing the subject. So I like this app as well too if you want to get that vibe. So let's get into reels, guys. This is going to be the last phase of this video. I just want to make sure I'm done with this video, and I want to make sure I touch on all the points. If I didn't touch on any point, we'll probably do a part 2, but let's talk about reels because you guys always ask me about my reels. So for my reels, let's go back to the app. I know some people use CapCut. I have CapCut, but I don't know why. I feel like InShot does everything I needed to do, so I don't bother using CapCut. So this is the InShot app here, and you pay for it as well. I already have a video I wanted to show you guys how I edited. This video is already being posted on my Instagram as well, and I use that sound angel. Black girl hair, black girl with the black girl hair, like about hair and all of that, like looking like an angel. So I had that in mind, and I just always knew I wanted to show like my different hairstyles. So this still brings me back to, you have to have an idea of what you're trying to achieve before you just go ahead and start achieving it. So in my mind I was like, I just want to kind of compile all my hairstyles in one, just to rhyme with the song. So I already know the rhythm of the song, right? I don't do this with all my reels, to be honest. Some of my reels I just create it and I just find an audio, but there's some reels where I already have an audio in mind and then I create it based on the audio I have in mind. So yeah, so with this one I had an audio in mind and I knew the concept, right? So I put all my clips. So basically here, if you just go to the add button here, you can go to video / photo and you go to your album and you choose the videos as always. But like I said, I've already done that. So you just choose all your clips. So these are all the clips I have here already of all the hairstyles that I want to use. So when you add everything here, if you click on each of the what do you call it, the posts, you can increase it. Like here, you can widen it, you can reduce it, make it small. So like I said, I really hope you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. If you guys already use InShot, you know what I'm talking about. But I already had an idea. So the song goes dun 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 dun. So the beginning of the video, God, I'm the worst person. I like, anyways, let me just continue. So for the beginning of the video, you want to be like 1 second, 1 second. So the beginning, you want to be like dun 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 dun. So the first 3 clips, you want to be 1 second long because of the rhythm in your head. Dun 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 dun, right? So here, the first clips here, you can see here it wrote 0.8. So you just increase it to 1 second, right? So it's exactly 1 second. The same thing with the second one. You can see here, I already edited this video, so you guys see what I'm talking about. Second one as well is 1 second. Third one as well is 1 second, because in the song it's like ten 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 ten. So 1, 2, 3. So the first 3 shots will be 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. That way you don't have to do 1 second anymore. So you've gotten your 3 seconds. The rest can now be a bit longer. So the rest, and I did 1 second, 1.8 seconds. Next one, the same thing, I did 2.2 seconds. So the other ones can now be longer, because as the song progresses, there's no cut, like is now a continuous thing. So even if it keeps on showing other clips, you're not really particular about how long or how short it is. Most important thing is that it's still falling into going next, and you never want to make one clip too long. I don't like making one clip too long. So even if I have a very long clip, I rather cut it into 3 or 4 and break it, so it's not like just one long clip playing. So an example of what I did, or what I mean by that is, so for this last clip here, if you guys can see, this last clip is 4 seconds long. I can easily come here and go up here to split and divide it into 2 and reduce this one. So reduce one of it. I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. Reduce it so that instead of it being one full 4 second clip, it's like it will cut and to show that, like if it's a movement, if the video has a movement, right? So if you're doing like this and then you do like this, instead of waiting for the whole clip to show you doing like this and turning like this, you can cut it when you're like this, and when you put the next clip is like when you're not like this. Guys, I hope I'm making sense. Do you understand? So when you're done with all of that, basically, when you're done with all of that and you're comfortable with the clips and everything, you've reduced it, you've increased it, you've split it up, all of that, I usually go to the volume button here and I just mute it to 0, and I just click this double good. So that's just to apply to every clip instead of doing one by one. So this means just apply to all. You can see it, apply to all. So that way you've muted the volume on all your videos, so you don't have to worry about doing that on Instagram. When you're done with that, another thing I do is that I go to here where they write filter, and you go to adjust. So this helps in making your video a bit more vibrant. That is one thing we tend not to do. People always say that my videos look vibrant or look crisp. So besides the iPhone settings, sometimes you just need to add more color to your video. So what I do here, I can do lightness. I can just increase it a bit, not so much. I don't like doing too much of that. Then I go to saturation as well. That will give it, you know, that vibrancy as well. Just a little bit of it, not so much. Maybe I can just do like 5, and then I always do sharpen. Like I told you guys, Instagram always reduces quality, so go to sharpen and just touch it a bit as well. And like I said, apply to all of them, this double, and that is that. And you go to good and you play your video. Let's start from the beginning, and this is the video here, so you guys can watch it. So it gives it that much vibrancy and everything. And when I'm done, like I told you guys, since I film my videos in 4K already with my camera settings, and they said that Instagram doesn't really carry 4K. When I'm exporting this video after editing it on my InShot app, which is up here, click up here, I save it at 1080, because this is what Instagram carries, and I save it as at 30 frames per second, and I save it as MP4, actually, not MOV, and then I save. And that's basically it. You just wait for it to save 100%, and then you have your reel. Guys, I'm trying as much as possible to not make this video so long, but I feel like it's so long. But like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But this is typically what I do to curate my reels, my pictures, and all of that for my Instagram. If you have any questions, please ask me. I don't mind doing a part 2 of this video, and I feel like I'll do it in a more favorable environment. Now a lot is going on, but I hope I touched on as much as possible when it comes to my Instagram, my reels, and how I create my posts and all of that. And if you enjoyed this video, please show it some love, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.